Parveen.
Just a minute, G.
Alfred got a brilliant start in the semi-final and she's away well again. She's up on Richardson at the moment. Juliet Alfred, the history maker, the gold medalist in the pouring rain.
Sorry, I was watching the 100-metre sprint final in the Olympics.
Oh, I didn't realize that you're interested in sports.
I absolutely love the Olympics. I watch every sport.
So, what's your favourite part of the Olympics? Let me guess. The amazing athletes?
No, actually, I love the fact that most, if not all, the countries in the world come together to participate side by side with one another.
That's interesting that you say that. So, you like the inclusive element?
When you put it like that, it is inclusive. Like the annual Samagam, where saints from all over the world get together for a common purpose.
Come to think of it, Olympics and spirituality do have a lot in common.
So, why don't we explore this for this month's Soul Vibes podcast?
Sure, let's dive into it, like the swimmers at the Olympics.
I'm Parveen.
And I'm Ishu.
And welcome to this month's Soul Vibes podcast. Namaskar and Sant Nirankari. Ishu ji, did you know the official values for the Olympic Games are excellence, respect, and friendship?
Yeah, and I was reading that the goal of the Olympic movement is to contribute to a peaceful and better world by educating youth through sport practice without discrimination of any kind.
That's so interesting. They don't even talk about winning or losing, but rather, through sports, how we can improve the world.
Yes, as Satguru Mataji has said, there is a competition in sports as well, but that is a positive dimension also. The players compete not to win or lose, but to exhibit sportsmanship spirit.
Ishuji, there is a beautiful story from the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. High jumpers Gianmarco Tambiri from Italy and Mutaz Bashim from Qatar both scored the same score after 3 tries. An official referee asked Mutaz, should we continue with the competition? To which Mutaz asked, can we just share the gold medal? And the rest is history, because that year, after 108 years, we were able to witness a shared gold medal between 2 countries.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And I also remember Muldas saying in an interview, the sport we know is all about performance, but humanity, solidarity, unity is just like peace coming all together.
Do you know, Ishuji, before this, the Olympics motto was higher, faster and stronger. After this act of selflessness, they added together to the motto.
And togetherness is our foundation of our mission, which we see in practice every day. At every satsang, the devotees from all different walks of life, with different cultural backgrounds, languages and lifestyle all come together as equals to sing the praises of Nirankari.
Oh, you're right. I guess we do have a lot in common to do with the values of the Olympics and our mission.
Yes, Parveenji. To build on our conversation, let's talk with Ankitji.
Sant Nirankari Ankitji, and welcome to this month's Soul Vibes podcast.
Sant Nirankari, thank you so much Parveen and Ishu for having me here.
Parveenji and I have been talking about the values that we see in the Olympics, and we also see these in spirituality. Have you been watching the Olympics?
Hanji, Ishu I have been watching some of the Olympics. My most favorite moment was watching Neeraj Chopra win the silver medal in javelin.
But he only won silver this time, and last time he won gold.
You are right. Everyone was expecting him to win gold, including him, but he handled it so well. No complaints, just acceptance. He's already talking about coming back stronger next time, learning from this experience.
Yes, Ankitji, I saw that. It's impressive how he managed to stay positive even though he had an injury in his hand and he couldn't even meet his own expectations.
Exactly. You know, it reminded me of something I went through early this year. Remember that car accident I had in February? I couldn't even walk for over almost a month.
Oh Oh yeah, I do remember seeing you with a walking frame.
Yeah, it was so frustrating and very hard time. But I found myself just accepting the situation. I kept doing Simran and felt this deep sense of thankfulness. No complaints, just surrendering to what happened and focusing on healing.
That's a really strong mindset. It's not easy to stay positive in situations like that.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but due to the blessing of Satguru, I did it. It's about understanding that some things are out of our control. Instead of fighting it, I just focus on getting better and learning from the experience. I'm looking forward to coming back stronger.
I'm so glad you are now doing well with Satguru's grace.
Thank you, Ji. You know, Ishu Ji, I have been thinking about the javelin throw event. It's not just about the throwing as far as possible. There is a whole technique behind it. Let me tell you. First, you have to run in the correct position. Keep your arm flexed to stabilize the javelin and then launch it at just the right angle, 115 degrees to be precise. It's all about traction, speed and angle.
Yeah, it's a lot more complicated than it looks. Every little detail matters to get that perfect throw.
Exactly. It got me thinking. Our spiritual life is kind of similar. We have been blessed with Seva, Satsang and Simran in our lives. Just like for javelin to travel far, all three elements of traction, speed and angle must be maintained. Similarly, a Gusik must be imbibed with the virtues of Seva, Satsang and Simran in their life without any motive, with the constant realization of Nirankari to walk on the path of devotion. And Parveen ji, have you heard about athlete Murlikant Petkar?
Yes, I saw the movie Chandu Champion. Is that who you're talking about?
Exactly, Parveen ji. He was in the army and has his dream of winning a gold medal for India in boxing. But you know, during the war, he got injured so badly that he couldn't walk anymore. His dream of winning gold medal in boxing seemed impossible after that. But here is the inspiring part. His coach didn't let him give up. Instead of boxing, his coach motivated him to take up swimming. And despite everything, he didn't just swim, he excelled. And you know, Petkar went on to win a gold medal in swimming at the 1972 Paralympics.
Whoa, what an inspiration.
Ishuji, it's all about adaptation and maintaining focus on the goal, just like we were talking about the javelin throw. In Petkar's case, he had to change his approach, but his core qualities, determination, discipline, and dedication remained the same.
It's like he found a different way to reach his gold medal, even when the original path was blocked.
Exactly. Petkar was focused on his ultimate goal to win the gold, but he was presented with an obstacle. Through his perseverance, he was able to adapt and still achieve his end goal. Similarly, in Gusik's lives, you may encounter obstacles, but if we remember the end goal of keeping Satguru and Nirankari always in our life, then no matter what the obstacle, we will always achieve the gold medal of inner peace and sukoon. जैसे बाबा जी ने कहा है जी, चाहे जैसी भी हो परिस्थिति, एक सी रहे मनोस्थिति.
So true, Ankit ji. Satguru gives us the strength to succeed in all situations.
Thank you, Ankit ji. Parveen ji, it's amazing on how much we can find different examples in everyday life, like sport, to help us grow on spirituality. It was interesting to hear how Ankitji's view on Neeraj Chopra's performance under such pressure, and even though things didn't turn out the way he expected, he had such a positive mindset.
I remember a vichar from Satguru Mataji. She said that the Olympic Games are going on nowadays, where we see the players get only a little time to prove their values after years of preparation and hard work. Likewise, little moments of challenge are a test to our character and understanding, which we nurture during our lifetime. If we continue the practice of adorning our words and actions with regular satsang, our response in difficult times would also be based on virtues of faith, devotion, and goodness.
Wow, beautiful. Speaking of goodness, Did you hear about what Selina Farfay from Laos did during the Paris Olympics? It was such a beautiful moment. When Lucia Morris from South Sudan fell during the 100-meter race, Farfay could have just kept running, focused on her own goals, but instead, she went back to help Morris. It really shows how even in a super competitive environment, our shared humanity can bring us together. Farfay even said all 100-meter athletes have to know how being hurt feels. And this is a big competition. It's a big dream to come here, but you get hurt here, so everybody knows the feeling. It's a reminder that while we're all chasing our dreams, we are also connected by the challenges we face. By choosing to help Morris, Farfay showed the real greatness isn't just about winning, it's about being there for others. That one act of kindness had such a big impact, proving that when we care for each other, we create a stronger and more united world.
Ishuji, speaking of a united world, do you know that the interlocking design of the Olympic rings symbolises the coming together of athletes from around the world, transcending political, economic, and social boundaries? This visual representation of global unity aligns with the Olympic ideal of promoting international understanding through sports.
That's another beautiful point, Parveenji. Why don't we speak to our next panelist and shed more light on today's topic?
Yes, Ishuji. Tanankar Harishji, how are you?
Taninka-ji, I'm well, and thank you for having me here.
Harishji, we have been talking about the Olympics and how interesting it is. Do you enjoy the Olympics?
Yes, Ishu-ji, like everyone else. Even I enjoy watching the Olympics.
Is there something in particular that fascinates you about the Olympics?
Ishu-ji, you know, I find Olympic athletes absolutely amazing. Just think about all the hard work and dedication they put in over their lives to make it to the Olympics. It's incredible, even if they don't always come out on top.
Yes, it must be disheartening for an athlete that has put so much effort in and not been successful. I wonder how they get through it.
It sounds tough. You know, a famous athlete, Kobe Bryant, said in an interview, you put one foot in front of the other. You control what you can, and then you see what the outcome is. If you win, great. If you will have to wake up the next day and repeat the journey, it hurts if you lose. But you have to wake up the next day and do the journey again anyway. So, it's a pointless to sit and debate and doubt your abilities. You train as hard as you can and step out there and let it flow.
Such beautiful lines. And I think that's called perseverance?
Yes, Parveen-ji. This perseverance is a constant process in life, and it doesn't just apply to elite athletes. It applies to all of us. You know, my son, Sudiksha, is really into football and has been practicing hard to score goals and try out new tricks with the ball. I watched him one day and was blown away by how good he had gotten at it. The next day, he played a match with his friends and used all the skills he had been working on. He gave it his all, but his team didn't win. He was very disappointed, but here is the thing I told him. Being a great player is not just about winning or losing. It's about playing your best and not getting too caught up in the outcome. Like Satguru Mataji said, that we have to deliver our best and leave rest to Nirankar.
Yes, Harishji, you are right. All we can do is surrender to the Almighty.
Well said, Parveen-ji. Leaving everything to Nirankar brings peace and clarity. Knowing that we have done our part with sincerity and dedication, which has been witnessed by this Almighty. इसको ही साक्षी कहते हैं. As mentioned in संपूर्ण हरदेव वाणी, सबका साक्षी सर्व आधारा, तू निर्गुण निरंकार है. और यही निरंकार है जो हर वक्त, हर घड़ी अपनी इस रचना को देख रहा है, साक्षी बनकर.
Hanji, that is so true. God Almighty is witnessing everything.
Parveen-ji, an athlete is witnessed by their coach, who has been there from day one, watching every practice, every struggle, every ounce of discipline, and every challenge an athlete faces, right up until the final whistle. They don't just guide, they witness the entire journey, seeing the highs and lows, knowing exactly what it takes to get there.
It's interesting that you mentioned the role of a coach here.
Yeah, Ishuji. Noah Lyles winning in the men's 100-meter final is a perfect example of how important having a great coach is. Despite dealing with injuries and setbacks, Lyles showed amazing resilience, and a lot of that came from his strong connection with his coach, Lance Brom.
Yes, Harishji, we were just watching the race.
Similarly, as a Gursikh, our coach in our life is Satguru, who is always with us. And just like when an athlete listens to the coach's instructions, they are led to the path of success. When Gursikh follow Satguru's guidance, they succeed on the path of spirituality.
That's a wonderful way to think about it, that Satguru is our coach in all aspects of life.
Exactly. A coach reveals the rules of the game to their players and teaches them discipline, resilience, and teamwork. And Satguru reveals God knowledge to all seekers. Both are guiding their disciples and helping them to stay on track with their goals through their teachings. But it is important to remember that the coach has some limits, but Satguru is limitless.
That's a great point. Coaches do really shape athletes' lives, but Satguru's guidance is on a whole different level.
In both cases, success comes from trusting the guidance you're getting and being dedicated to the path guided by your teacher.
Exactly. Once you get this guidance from a coach, it stays with you forever. Similarly, Satguru is not just a physical presence. It's the divine knowledge that gives you awareness about who you truly are.
Harishji, it's wonderful that we can take so many examples from the Olympics as learning for our own spiritual life.
You know, Ishuji, life is a kind of like the Olympics in a way, don't you think? There is this huge mix of events we go through. Just like the Olympics keep rolling on, life does too. Whether you are completing things or not, feeling satisfied or not, winning or losing, life doesn't stop. It just keeps going.
That's so true. But there's going to be some differences, right?
Absolutely. The big difference is that in the Olympics, there is only one gold medalist. But in life, everyone has a chance to win. We can all achieve a gold medal in life.
Harishji, what is the gold medal in life?
Satguru is teaching us the purpose of life is to realize God Almighty, through which we can find inner peace, completeness, and oneness. Achieving this state of bliss is winning the gold medal. And we all can win this gold medal.
Yes, Harishji, even though I'm not an athlete, this is a gold medal that I can strive for. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Harishji.
Thank you, Ishuji and Parveenji.
Parveenji, after hearing all these incredible stories and experiences, it's clear that whether we're talking about Olympics or spirituality, the core values do align to an extent.
Absolutely, Ishuji. In sports, like in the Olympics, athletes achieve greatness through unwavering commitment, rigorous alignment with their goals, and a deep sense of unity, whether it's with their teammates, their coach, or even their competitors. And in our spiritual journey, we align ourselves with Satguru's teachings, commit to seva, satsang, and simran, and work towards the oneness that binds us all together.
Both spiritual and athletic paths require commitment, alignment, and a profound sense of oneness. And we have seen that even in the example of the Olympics. It's not only about winning.
You're right, Ishuji. Whether in the world of sports or in our spiritual practices, the journey is about more than just external achievements. It's about aligning with our highest ideals and striving for a deeper connection with ourselves and others.
Just as athletes strive for excellence in their respective fields, we too can aspire to reach new heights in our spiritual lives. We had such a blissful time listening to the views of saints and learning from them. So dear listeners, hope you enjoyed this episode of Soul Vibes.
Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode of Soul Vibes.
Sant Nirankari.
Love, peace and humanity. is all that world needs. You are the hope. Let's contribute, make a move, be the change you wanna see.